Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today we're going to be doing a process video using the Adorned Devotional Kit from ByTheWell4God. I do have an unboxing of this kit, so I will link it down below for you guys. You can see everything that comes in the kit, as well as the extra goodies that released at the same time. So I'm going to be working in day one. I'm a little late getting started. I'm just getting back into the swing of things after the summer. But before we dive in, I did want to say I have an extra kit that Lori from ByTheWell4God sent me to do a giveaway with. She sent some other goodies too, so those will be coming later on. I'm going to kind of spread them out so that we have multiple winners. But this is going to be for one winner will win the entire Adorned Kit, as well as the little extra goodie that has the stamp set and extra stickers and die cuts and things like that. So I'll have all of the giveaway information down in the description box for as far as like the dates and how to enter and all of that goodness. So you definitely want to check that out because it's going to say specifically what you need to do and what type of comment that you need to leave down in the comments to have your name entered into the giveaway. So definitely check that out, and that will be running through for the next week or so. So that's super exciting. I've really enjoyed doing lots of giveaways on my channel lately. But today I wanted to share with you this really fun technique using some foiling and stamping from this kit. So I shared a little sneak peek on my Instagram earlier in the week, and so I've ordered a couple more colors of deco foils, and so now I can finally do the process and share with you. So let me go ahead and put you on fast forward, and I will show you how to do this and then how we put together the Bible journaling page. Okay, for this technique, you're going to need a few different supplies. First off, you're going to need some colored foils. I prefer the Deco Foil brand. I've tried several others, and this one gives me the best results. Everything will be linked down below for you guys. You're going to need some embossing ink like Versamark. This is a clear sticky ink. You're going to need a couple of embossing powders. You're going to need the Ranger Sticky embossing powder. That's key for this. And then whatever you want to top it with. I'm using white today, but you could use glitters, you could use metallics, whatever you want to use. And then a powder tool for embossing. So I will link an embossing video down below for you guys if you have questions about that. And then I'm going to use these two stamp sets. I have the one Adorned from the kit, and then the Fully Treasured? That's an additional stamp set that you can pick up. This technique works best with symmetrical stamps, and you'll kind of see why that works that way. Now, I am using a stamp positioning tool today. You don't have to use that, but this allows me to stamp several of these at one time, and that way it just kind of saves time. So I've put my piece of cardstock into the stamp positioning tool, and then I'm laying my stamps down flat side down. So we're actually going to stamp backwards first. I know this seems a little funny, but this is going to give us a nice solid backdrop for that foiling. So this, like I said, will work with a variety of different stamps as long as they are symmetrical, because when you flip it over and then stamp the detail, it needs to be symmetrical for it to work best. So I've closed the door, picked up those stamps. Again, we are stamping with the back side of the stamp. I'm prepping my cardstock with that powder tool. That just makes sure that the embossing only sticks to what I want it to. And then I'm going to ink up the back of those stamps with the Versamark clear sticky ink. Now, the nice thing about a stamp positioning tool is that you can stamp multiple times. So I can just make sure that that cardstock's back in the corner, ink these up again, and then stamp them again. I want to make sure that I have really good coverage of the ink and the embossing powder and everything to get the best result. Now, it isn't going to be perfect. It does kind of have like a vintage look to it, but that's okay. We'll get there. So now I'm going to use this sticky embossing powder. Now, I've used this several times and had mixed results. I did a bunch of research, watched a bunch of videos, learned videos from Tim Holtz, who created this, and finally figured out how to use it. So he says to treat this like a powdered glue. So as long as it's dry, you have time to manipulate it. So I'm pouring this over that clear sticky ink. It's going to stick to everything that's sticky, so those stamped images. And while it's dry, I have time to work with it, so I can add, layers and things like that. But you want to make sure you have your foil ready to go, or you can use flocking, glitter, perfect pearls, anything like that that you want to stick to a glue. You want it ready. And then you're going to heat set this just until it melts. It kind of gets clear and shiny, and then you instantly want to lay your medium over the top of this because now it's like wet glue, so it will dry. So you want to move quickly. lay down that foil, and then I'm kind of burnishing with my finger. And in the past, I would instantly peel this up and I wouldn't get good results. The trick is to make sure the glue dries, because again, we're treating it like glue, not regular embossing powder. Now here's a little tip I like to do. I like to run this through my die cutting machine with no dies, just the shims in place, and run it through. And this just applies pressure evenly over the whole thing. That way I get really good adhesion. But if you don't have one of those, don't worry, you can just burnish it with your finger. And then once it's been a few seconds and it feels like it's dry, you can pull that up, and now you can see you have these really nice solid foiled images. So hopefully you get some better results. I've had mixed results with that sticky embossing powder, but now I finally feel like I have good, like I can work with it well, and so I'm excited to use it with perfect pearls and glitters and things like that. So I'm going to put this sheet back into my stamp positioning tool, and here's where we're going to add the detail layers. So I'm going to flip these stamps over and stamp them like you normally would. So we're putting the detailed side of the stamp down, and I'm just lining them up over the top of those images that we foiled. And then I can close that stamp drawer and pick them up. Again, you can do this with just a stamp block. It just takes a little bit longer. You have to do like one at a time or a couple at a time. You can't do, all of these at once, like the way that I'm doing here. Now, for this part, you want to make sure that you liberally coat these with the powder tool. You can use baby powder. There's like a little embossing bag. You can use this powder tool that I have here. Basically, this is just removing any stickiness, fingerprints, oils, moisture, anything like that, so that the embossing powder only sticks to what I'm going to stamp next. Sometimes that sticky embossing powder is not completely covered by the foil, and so that embossing or that powder tool will kind of help with that. So now I've inked up those stamps again with the clear sticky ink, stamp that down. You can't see it because it's clear. And now I'm going to cover this with the white embossing powder. I've also done this with metallics. You could use colored. You could stamp with just black. You'd want to use archival ink or STAYS-on ink if you wanted to do that, if you didn't want to do extra embossing. But I'm going to stick with white, and I think I really like the contrast and the look of this. And then you can go ahead and heat set this. Now again, like I said, it's not perfect. That white embossing powder does stick to some stray areas, and sometimes it kind of pulls away some of the foiling when you lay those stamps back down. So it kind of has this like roughened antique look to it, kind of a distressed look, but I am totally okay with that. And Tim Holtz has all kinds of crazy process videos using those foils and that sticky embossing powder. He can use distress inks to change the color of the foils, all kinds of crazy things that you can do with it. So I'm kind of excited to play with it more. So I went ahead and fussy cut all of those out, and then I also have that girl image. That's actually from the printables that get sent to you when you order the kit. And then I also have these feathers. These are from an additional printable set that you can purchase. Again, everything will be linked down below for you guys. I printed the girl out on white cardstock. I did move it into Photoshop and mirror image it and flipped it so the girl would be facing to the left instead of the right. And then the feathers I printed on clear sticker paper. I get lots of questions about the printer I use. I always link that down below for you guys when I'm using Printables, so you can check that out and see what I use. But before I stick those down, I do want to add a little bit of color to the background. So I pulled out my Gonzai Tombi Starry colors. These are different gold watercolors. I want to stick with the metallic jewel theme that we're going with. So I'm going to use a couple different shades of gold, I guess, and just add little plops of watercolor to the background. A lot of this gets covered up, but it just adds some texture to the background. Do keep in mind, later on I do some hand lettering and erase my pencil marks. When you erase over metallic watercolors, it does pick up the metallic parts of the watercolor, so just keep that in mind if you're going to be using anything that you're going to erase. You just want to keep it limited, keep it minimal, because it will erase your metallics. So now I can start sticking everything down to the page, and I'm just kind of laying things out. Now I'm going to be honest, I spent a lot of time prepping those jewels and not so much thinking about the layout that I wanted to do, and so I don't love the layering that I did here. I don't know. It's just, at this point, I'd already spent so much time making those jewels that I was just trying to get the page done. But for you, if you wanted to sit, here I have tons of jewels that I didn't use on this page, and I just stick them into containers to use on future pages as I work through this devotional kit. So I would suggest that. Just take an afternoon, make a whole bunch of these all at once. You can see I use several different colors. I didn't list the colors that I used, but you can check out the ByTheWell4God shop. She's got tons of different colors over there. Now I am using a new ThermoWeb adhesive here. I'm trying to find the perfect adhesive. So for your entry for the giveaway, leave a comment down below with a comment sharing what your favorite adhesive and or journaling pen is. So that's going to be one of your entries for the giveaway. So you need to like the video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at LindseyDecor413, and then leave a comment down below with your favorite adhesive and or favorite journaling pen. And the adhesive needs to be something that is currently available. Lori will go ahead and look at those comments, and she will stock that in the shop for you guys. So leave a comment down below. So I've been checking out the new Happy Hand Lettering book that was just released, and so I was really inspired to try some hand lettering. I'm not happy with it. I really struggle with it. I need more practice, but this gives me practice. So I laid it down in pencil, and then I'm just going back in with a pen and using the techniques from that book. I did link the book down below so you guys can check it out. I've really been enjoying it. It's so personable. It's got devotionals in it. It's just an amazing hand lettering book, so definitely check it out. I've really been inspired by it. So I've got my title there, God's Treasure Box, journaled a little prayer, just documenting how amazing it is that, God made beautiful things in the world, colorful flowers and jewels and gems and all these things, and he counts us within all of that, he considers us just as precious and beautiful as all of these jewels and things that he's created in the world. And so I just think that's amazing, and I just wanted to document, just that reminder. So I'm creating a little tab cluster at the top there using some more of those jewels. I'm obsessed with those. I cannot wait to use these on just about every page that I journal for this devotional, so you'll be seeing lots of them. And that is pretty much going to be it. I'm just going to highlight my verse there. And that's it. So if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below. Definitely check out the description box for links to everything that I used today, as well as the details for the giveaway, so you make sure that you hit all of those points so you get your entry in there for the giveaway. I'll announce here on YouTube as well as over on Instagram, so stay tuned for that. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.